Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tamassaka bi sunnatihi bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, upon his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow, upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. Proceed, ikhwan. Allahumma inna na'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa' wa min qalbin la yakhsha' wa min nafsin la tashba' wa min du'a'in la yusma'. Verily, Allah, we seek refuge with you from knowledge that has no benefit, from a heart that has no fear, and from a soul that has no satisfaction nor contentment, and from a dua that goes unanswered. From a dua that goes unanswered. To proceed يا إخوان فنواصل معكم في هذا اليوم المبارك عونا من الرحمن الرحيم. So we continue this blessed and noble day of ours, second the eighth, and the assistance of our Lord, the most merciful and the most compassionate. مستفيدين متعلمين من اللغة العربية. So we continue to learn and to derive benefit from the science of the Arabic language. طيب فتعلمنا بعض الكلمات بحمد الله. So we had the honor to learn some new words in the previous lesson. Walhamdulillah. فما ترجمة كلمة اشترى. So what's the translation of the word اشترى? It should be Hamza al-Wasl. Accent. To buy. Purchase. جميلا. طيب وتعلمنا أيضا كلمة وضع يضع. We also learned the word وضع في المضارع يضع. ما ترجمتها? What's the translation of وضع? What do we have today with us? Just Sheikh Ta'ud. طيب لا بأس. طيب how would you translate وضع داود? Hey, to place, to put. طيب وفي الحديث بمعنى أن يفتري في حديث النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. When it comes to hadith, that meaning would be to fabricate narrations. وضع, to fabricate narrations in the science of hadith. No. طيب, let's do one more inshallah. قدم يقدم. No. يقدم. What about the verb قدم يقدم? What you say there, Dawud? To present. Hey, to present. No. It can also mean أن يقدم شيئا تقديما, that you put something forward, like move something forward. No. In the start of the salah, sometimes the imam, he says قدم رجلك, move your foot forward some. for example. قدم, to make something forward. No. طيب وصلنا إلى صفحة 22. So for those that have the book, we arrived at page number 22. قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم املأ الفراغ بما يناسبه من الكلمات التالية. الكلمات. So it says complete or fill in the blanks with that which is suitable for it from the following words. The words. طيب فعندنا الآن بعض الفراغات. So now we have some blanks. ويريدنا أن أكمل الفراغات. So he wants us to complete or fill in the blanks. طيب اقرأ الكلمات يا داود وترجمها. So read the words and then translate each word inshallah.
أختي, my sister.
جميلا.
أعددت.
No.
Um,
From أعد يعد.
to count.
Not to count, but from the verb أعد. أعد means to prepare. And أعد and the مضارع يعد. يعد. Now the ماضي فأنا أعد يعد. Okay.
That correlation with idda.
Idda comes from the root. The root would be adda. That's the origin. The word idda comes from that root. No. Time period. No. So when you or select the time period. When you say مثلا أعددت is I prepared. I arranged. I prepared. No. I have prepared. أعددت. No. The word idda is a specific time period, but it comes from the origin. The origin will be adda. That's the origin. يعد. والله أعلم. And Allah knows best. No. تفضل.
Pantaloon.
No.
Pants.
Good. Pants. Trousers. No.
Mango.
Good. Good.
A time. Hour.
Good. Hour. Can also be a clock or a watch. No. طيب اقرأ الجملة الأولى. So read the first sentence and fill in the blank.
بنك شعري فأنا أفكر ماذا أشتري لأسرتي وأصدقائي.
MashaAllah. So he says blank a month, and I have been thinking or pondering, what am I going to buy for my family and my companions? No. اختار كلمة. منذ بيقوى. نعم.
وأنا أفكر ماذا أشتري لأسرتي وأصدقائي.
أحسنت. Why is not letting me highlight no more, yeah? It used to let me highlight. So number one will be منذ. I used to can draw a line, a nice line, but now it's not letting me. طيب, number one we would say منذ. Number one will be mundu shahrin. That's a kalima, ya ikhwan, that you barely hear except from the scholars of Arabic and the students of knowledge. But that's a word of fusha. All the words that we learn, alhamdulillah, are traditional Arabic words from the Quran and Sunnah. The word mundu. Memorize this word, ya ikhwan. Mundu shahrin. You don't hear it a lot, but it's from classical original Arabic. Mundu shahrin. For a month. Or since 1 month. For example. Since a month or for a month. You don't hear it a lot, but it's fusha from the original Arabic language. Mundu sa'a antadiruka. I've been waiting for you for an hour. Mundu. No. So he says, منذ شهر وأنا أفكر. فائدة ثانية يا إخوان. Another benefit. When you mention the verb, you can mention the pronoun first. It's not a condition. Like he says, أنا, and then he brings the verb, أفكر. I have been thinking, pondering. You can also say it without the pronoun. Ufakiru. Just mention the verb. Both of them are correct. One doesn't take precedence over the other. But you don't always have to say it. Some of the brothers believe every time I say the verb, I have to say the pronoun. No, you can. It's not a condition. You can mention the pronoun before. Ana ufakiru. Or you can say ufakiru. It's up to you. So sometimes the brothers think I have to always anta tashtari. I have to say the pronoun and then the verb. That's not a condition. It's up to you as the speaker. The pronoun is already in the verb, so you don't have to say it, but you can say it. Sometimes it enhances the meaning. You know? Alhamdulillah. طيب نواصل. Let's continue. تفضل.
وقبل السفر إلى بلدي بأسبوع كل ما أريد شراءه في ورقة.
MashaAllah. Now here, ya ikhwan, it's an error. It's like a printing error, looks like. They have waqabala. It should be waqabala. The sukoon should be on the ba. So it should be waqabala. So that's a mistake there. The word is qabala. You know. So this is just a PDF. So sometimes on the imaging there's some errors there. And this is one of them. So it should be waqabala safari. Waqabala safari. No. طيب اختار كلمة. Choose a word. Oh, he says, so before the trip إلى بلدي, to my land or my hometown, could be my city or my state, could be my city or a country, بأسبوع, by a week, meaning a week before the trip to my country. Blank كل ما أريد اشتراءه في ورقة. So blank everything that I want it's buying, meaning I want to buy, on a piece of paper or on a sheet of paper. No. اختار كلمة. So choose a word. أحسنت. So قبل السفر إلى بلدي بأسبوع. So before the trip to my country by a week, meaning a week before the trip to my country, أعددت, I prepared everything I wanted to buy or I wanted buying on a piece of paper. أحسنت أحسنت. طيب تفضل.
ثم ذهبت ثم ثم آه ثم ذهبت إلى السوق آه واشتريت هداء لي ولصديقي
صديقي.
لصديقي
Hey, finish the whole thing because I think that's all connected. No.
ولوالدي.
I know. So he says, then I went to the market and I brought shoes for blank and blank for my companion or my friend and blank for my father. MashaAllah.
So واشتريت هداء لأختي
Good.
وساءة لصديقي
Good. Last one.
وقانونا لوالدي.
Hey, Ahsant. You could say that. And also, some of the students change them because the gifts are interchangeable. He says, وَاشْتَرَيْتُ حِذَاءً لِي, and I brought shoes for my sister. طيب. Now the next two, you can flip them if you wish. وَپَنْتَنُونًا, and pants for my companion. وَسَاعَةً لِوَالِدِي, and a watch for my father. Or you can say سَاعَةً لِصَدِيقِي وَپَنْتَنُونًا لِوَالِدِي. No, that's no problem either way. And I brought a watch for my companion and pants for my father. So those last two, that's up to the student. طيب أعطيكم فائدة ثالثة. Another benefit يا إخوان. If you look at the sentence when he said وقبل صفري وقبل السفر إلى بلدي بأسبوع طيب. Now the arrangement here, and this should be a ba. وقبل. طيب, you can say it one or two ways. Up to the speaker. وقبل السفر should be كسرة إلى. So before the trip to my country, بأسبوع. Now this بأسبوع here, you can say it at the end, you can say it in the middle, or you can say it in the beginning. Now it does nothing to the meaning, it just نغير الترتيب. We're just going to change the arrangement, but it does nothing to the meaning. The meaning is the same. Sometimes changing the order changes the meaning. Sometimes it does nothing to the meaning, it just changes the order. So he says, and before my trip to my country, by a week, meaning a week before I traveled to my country. But if he started this sentence off with be, same thing, be usbu'in, and then he wrote qabala safari. He did nothing to the meaning. Same meaning to the end. A week before my trip. Because in Arabic you could say both ways. Also in English in this example. There's nothing to the meaning. You can say a week before I travel, or you can say before I travel by a week. That's both correct in English. You can still do the same. The meaning is the same, but you're just changing the order. So that bi usbu'in, you can start this sentence with it, or you can end it, or you can also bring it in the middle. That's up to you. If he says وَقَبَلَ السَّفَرِ, now bring it in the middle. بِأُسْبُوعٍ. Nothing, he did nothing to the meaning. The meaning is still there. He just changed the structure. بِأُسْبُوعٍ إلى بلدي. إلى بلدي. All three of them are correct. It's just the arrangement. And neither is better than the other. It's up to the speaker. It's up to the author. So, the first one, he ended it with the بأسبوع with the حرف جار and the اسم مجرور قبل سفري. And the second one, he began it. And in the third one, we ended with it. Or in the third one is in the middle. The meaning is the same. You're just changing the structure. So in the first one, وَقَبَلَ سَفَرِي إِلَى بَلَدِي بِأُسْبُوعٍ. So before I travel to my country, by a week. Meaning, a week before I travel to my country. And the second, a week before I travel to my country. Same meaning. And in the third, before I travel, a week, before I travel by a week to my country. So you didn't do nothing to the meaning. So you can do that also in Arabic. Sometimes when we're learning, the brothers and sisters think, I have to say it this way. And that's sometimes when you study different curriculums, that's why it's good to not just study. One brother said, why don't you teach the Medina books? I never saw you teach the Medina books. I taught those books years ago, ya ikhwan. But that was before we used to record. That was years ago in Yemen, where nobody's really on the I don't even know if that was out back then, ya ikhwan, or not. At any rate, one of the reasons I don't teach those books is because everybody teaches those books. So I like to be slightly different. You know, if everyone is teaching it already, alhamdulillah. Another benefit too, in my humble opinion, that curriculum is not that tremendous unless you have the whole curriculum. If you're just doing book 1, 2, and 3, you're not going to maximize the benefit. But there's a curriculum. The same way this program here has 4 levels, and each level has 6 books. The Medina book is the series is like that too. But book 1, 2, and 3 is what's popular in America. But there's a whole curriculum there that most students don't have. Level 1 is 4 books. Level 2 is almost 6 books. Level 3 is almost 6 books. But we just do 1, 2, and 3. But it's a whole curriculum there. And the third reason is because the vocab in the Medina is a little easier than the one that's in Muhammad Mas'ud or Bayni or Kitab al-Asasi. Those vocabulary, in my humble opinion, are more extensive. At any rate, all of these programs are tremendous, ya ikhwan. And every student or every imam or every teacher may have their preference. And that's okay, ya ikhwan. Arabic is Arabic. None of these curriculums are the best ways to learn Arabic. None of them. They're just to get us started. These are just like training wheels. If you do Bayni Yadayk, if you do Medina, you do one of our favorites, Muhammad Saud, you do Kitab al-Asasi, you do Al-Arabiyyatu Jamila. That's one that's in China they do. It's called The Arabic Language is Beautiful. That's a real nice one also. China or Pakistan, I forget which one now. But that curriculum is there. All of them are awesome. And you don't have to do each one. No, choose one curriculum and just do it. Some other brothers and sisters, they do Medina with this person, and then they do Kitab al-Asas with that person, and then they do Muhammad Nasr with that person. No, ya ikhwan, that's redundant. You know, you don't have to do that. Flip a coin, pray istikhara, and choose a curriculum. And then study that one curriculum. Don't do Kitab al-Asasi and Medina and Muhammad Nasr. No. All that's on the same level. You want to make tadarruj. Let's write this word down, ya ikhwan. In Arabic, in all your lessons, you want to make tadarruj. You want to go higher. You don't want to study on the same plane. No, you want to go higher. A lot of the students, that's from the minhaj. That's a famous word that many of us use, but we use it out of context. The minhaj of seeking knowledge. Al-minhaj. Al-minhaj of learning. The methodology of learning. Al-minhaj. The methodology of it. methodology is important as a student of knowledge. Whose explanation has more right for you right now? That's important. What scholar should I be listening to or reading his books on my level right now? That's important. That's part of the methodology, the minhaj. Whose explanation? What book? Sometimes the brothers and sisters don't know what book has more right for you right now. The book you're studying right now could be beneath your level, so you're not getting a lot of benefit. Or it could be too hard for you, so you're not getting a lot of benefit. So to know your level and to know what explanation is suitable for you, that's important also. Sometimes we miss the mark when we take the advice from the ulama. Sometimes the scholars ask the same question. Sheikh, what book do you recommend for the beginner? The sheikh says, Riyadh al-Salihin. Another sheikh says, 40 hadith. Another sheikh says, Bulugh al-Maram. طيب, there's no contradiction, ikhwan. Number one, that's each one of those mashaykh giving his opinion. That's number one. Number two, all of that's general. Because unless the sheikh knows your level, because a student of knowledge is on different levels, beginners are on different levels, mashaykh are on different levels. So it's wrong to have a general guide for everyone specifically. That's incorrect. You recommend the beginner student of knowledge, for example, Sheikh Muqbil, rahimahullah, when you ask him, what's his advice for the student of knowledge of hadith? This is Sheikh Muqbil's advice. Sheikh Muqbil ibn Hadi al-Wadi'i, rahimahullah. Sheikh Muqbil, his advice for the student of knowledge, for the beginner. They say, Ya Sheikh, what do you recommend for the beginner student of knowledge in hadith? He says, I believe he mentioned two books. He says, Riyadh al-Salihin. Number one, Riyadh al-Salihin, Gardens of the Righteous, by Imam al-Nawawi. Gardens of the Righteous. Tremendous book. But you have to remember, Sheikh Muqbil is a scholar of hadith. So his advice may be different than a scholar of al-fiqh. So the questioner, and this is on YouTube, is on his website, يا شيخ ماذا تنصحون به لطلبة العلم الجدد في الحديث? What do you recommend for the beginner student of knowledge of hadith? I believe he mentioned two books. He says, Riyadh al-Salihin, this is by Imam al-Nawawi. Imam al-Nawawi. It's a tremendous book, ya ikhwan. One of the best books of hadith you're going to study. By al-Nawawi. And he also said, Lu'lu wal-Marjan, by Ibn Hadi. It's a tremendous book. Both of them. Tremendous. One volume, about 1,600 hadith apiece. Sheikh Uthaymeen was asked the same question. Now look at Sheikh Muqbil's advice, Riyadh al-Salihin, and then he also recommended Lu'lu. A lot of people sleep on Lu'lu. Lu'lu is like a summarization of Bukhari and Muslim. It's a tremendous book, ya akhi. All the hadith are authentic. It's like you summarize Bukhari and Muslim together. Allahu Akbar. It's a tremendous book to study. طيب. Now Sheikh Uthaymeen was asked the same question. Now watch how their answers differ. Sheikh Al-Uthaymeen. Right? You can say Ibn Uthaymeen or Al-Uthaymeen. Al-Uthaymeen. Both of them are correct. طيب. Al-Uthaymeen, rahimahullah. He was asked the same question. يا شيخ ماذا تنصحون به لطلبة العلم الجدد في الحديث? يا شيخ, what do you advise for the beginner student of knowledge of hadith? Sheikh Uthaymeen says 40 hadith. 40 hadith by Imam al-Nawawi. Also by Imam al-Nawawi. 40 hadith. Right? 40 hadithan. 40 hadithan. But look how they differ though. 40 hadith. طيب. Now here, 40 hadith is 40 hadith. There's only 40 narrations. طيب. Sheikh Muqbil's advice, 1,500 hadith for the beginner of hadith. The beginner student of knowledge. Sheikh Uthaymeen said, in my opinion, that's too much for them. Start off with 40 narrations. Some scholars say every student of knowledge is different, which is correct. Even as a beginner, everyone's level is different. Some beginner students of knowledge have memorized the whole Quran, and he's still a beginner. Some beginner students of knowledge have not memorized Juz Amma, and he's a beginner. Some beginner students of knowledge have memorized Riyadh al-Salihin, and he's a beginner. So my point is, everyone's level is different, but generally they could be on the same plane. A beginner, just like someone in the middle. Someone can be an intermediate student of knowledge and have some knowledge, but it's going to differ from student to student. Likewise, the advice. And sometimes we don't realize that, and we get offended when, oh, well, this sheikh said that, and that sheikh said that. That's his opinion. There's nothing from Quran and Sunnah that you have to start off with for the hadith first. In Yemen, many of the big memorizers, they skip these small books. Many of them. They go right to Riyadh al-Salihin, Lu'lu, Bulugh al-Maram, Umdat al-Ahkam, Bukhari, Muslim. They go right to the big narrations. MashaAllah. But some of them are capable to do that. Now in the West, you may not recommend a beginner student of knowledge with Riyadh al-Salihin. You may not, unless you know their level and their capability. Because in the West, we're not really keen on memorizing. Almost every hadith class that starts off as far as memorizing, nobody finishes it. Almost every Quran circle of memorizing in the West, nobody finishes it. Because we're not a people who are used to memorizing. Nobody's really encouraging memorize Quran. Find your Quran teacher and memorize 3 verses a day. Nobody's encouraging find you a teacher, get your book of hadith and memorize 1 hadith every 2 days. Nobody's really doing that nowadays. Because we don't come from real scholarship. We don't really come from real seeking knowledge. We go to the masajid whenever we're free. Not every day. We go to class whenever we want to. It's not part of our lives yet. Not most of us. So your advice may be different from student to student. Most of the women, they ask the brothers, oh, what do you recommend me to memorize? It depends. What's your level? How is your memory? How is your capacity? How is your understanding? What did you study so far? What did you memorize? All of this plays a role. When those scholars give their advice, most of the time it's general. Our Sheikh Salam in Kuwait, one of the biggest students of Sheikh Uthaymeen, Holden, he was asked, Ya Sheikh, what do I memorize after this? He said, did you memorize that yet? He said, no. He said, when you memorize it, come back to me and I'll tell you what to memorize after that. Because that's true. A lot of times we're just asking questions to the Mashaykh. Most of the brothers, Ya Sheikh, what do you recommend that I memorize? And he knows he's not even equipped to memorize that. But it's just a question. So some Mashaykh, they don't let you play with their time. So you have to be serious. He recommends you memorize Kitab al-Tawheed. What do I memorize after that? The Sheikh says, have you memorized it yet? He said, no. He said, when you memorize it, come back to me. I'll give you another book to memorize. Because nobody has time to play. Even the Mashaykh. There's not enough time, ya ikhwan. At any rate, all of this is opinionated. There's no Quran and Sunnah to say you have to memorize this book over that book over that book. No. Our Sheikh Labib in Yemen, he says, don't busy yourself with what book to start off with. No, you choose the book and start. Because most of the time you're battling this book and that book and this book, and your life is passing you by. Grab the book, make istikhara, and start the book. And that's something that we have an issue with in the West. Almost every year, what do you recommend? What do you recommend? What about this book? What about that book? Yeah, just start the program. Life is short. Find someone that can help you with Quran. And if you can do 3 verses a day, a half a page a day, Allahu Akbar. That's tremendous if you can do that. Find a book of hadith. If you could do one hadith every other day, Allahu Akbar. It doesn't matter the book per se. It matters that you're being diligent and sincere and you're memorizing the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. That's what I would say there, ya ikhwan. Wallahu alam. Right, let's continue. قال بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم التدريب الثاني أو التدريب الثامن عفوا. Exercise number 8. اقرأ ما يأتي. Read the following passage. So now, I want each of you, we're going to take turns, inshallah. What do we have so far? طيب. So I want you all, we're going to take turns, those who wants to read. Some of our sisters, we know, they don't want to read, and that's okay, alhamdulillah. If the sisters want to read, they can read. If they don't want to read, they don't have to read. As we mentioned, the ikhtilaf of the people of knowledge in that regard. So we give the women a choice. If they want to read, they can read. If they don't, no problem. So, we have to read the passage. Then after reading the passage, we have some questions to answer regarding the passage. So this is good for your reading comprehension. It shows not only are you reading, but you have an idea of what you're reading. And this is important, that you can comprehend what you're reading. So, inshallah, whoever wants to read can read. And then we'll answer the questions, inshallah. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. فَمَنْ يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَكُونَ الْأَوَّلَ, who wants to be the first reader, فَلْيَتَفَضَّلْ. Then let them proceed.
ذهب مصطفى إلى صديقه حسن
Good.
ليذهب معها إلى السوق.
طيب, I'll find out. This معها was another mistake here. It should be معه. Hey, no. It should be معه.
معه إلى السوق.
Good.
وجد مصطفى وصديقه وجد مصطفى وصديقه ينتظره منذ ساعة.
Good.
بعد أن أعد بعد أن أعد ورقة كتب فيها ما يريد شراءه. حسن يريد أن يشتري بعض الملابس الشتوية.
You got it? What?
ورأي
Good.
صغيرا.
Good.
مصطفى يريد أن يشتري قميصا وبنطلونا وحذاء وجوربا. وسيشتري حسن أيضا ساعة ليقدمها هدية لأخته.
ما شاء الله. جميلا. أحسنت يا داود. تقرأ جميلا يا أخي. بارك الله فينا وفيكم. You read beautifully. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you and all of us. طيب, الآن نترجم. So now we're translating, inshallah. If any of our sisters would like to read, then they can read also. طيب. فقال ذهب مصطفى إلى صديقه حسن. So now he says Mustafa went to his companion Hassan. ليذهب معه إلى السوق. In order for him to go with him to the market. وجد مصطفى صديقه ينتظره منذ ساعة. So Mustafa found his companion waiting for him for an hour. بعد أن أعد ورقة كتب فيها ما يريد شراءه. So after he prepared or he arranged a list, a piece of paper that he wrote in it what he wanted to buy. حسن يريد أن يشتري بعض الملابس الشتوية وراديو صغيرة. So Hassan intends or wants to buy some winter clothes and a small radio. Last passage. مصطفى يريد أن يشتري قميصا وبنطلونا وحذاء وجوربا. Mustafa wants to buy a thobe, or you could say a shirt, and pants, and shoes, and socks. ويشتري حسن أيضا ساعة ليقدمها هدية لأخته. So he says, and Hassan wants to buy, and Hassan shall buy also a watch, or you could say a clock, in order to present it as a gift to his sister. In order to present it as a gift to his sister. Alright. So now, سنجيب على الأسئلة. We're going to answer the questions. قال أجب عن الأسئلة التالية من النص السابق. So answer the questions, the following questions from the previous text. The word nas is a text. You can also say metin. You can say an-nassu, or you can say al-matin. The text, you can say a nas, and you can say al-matin. They both are correct. Al-matin, the text. If you're reading, if it's a book, you can say a nas, or you can say al-matin. They both have the same meaning. The text. Not the explanation, the text. The text. Right. So reading comprehension, ikhwan, a lot of those drills, if you pay attention, that we used to do in grade school with English, a lot of the Arabic books do the same things. That was great methods and great drills that we used to do in middle school. Right? Give me a sentence for each of the vocabulary words. That's middle school. Those are great drills. If we did the same thing in Arabic, write a passage of what you did today. That's middle school. I'm gonna give you five questions. You give me a possible. I'm gonna give you 5 answers. You give me a possible question for each answer. That's middle school. Most of these drills, there's nothing new. We've seen these before in middle school, in grade school, in kindergarten. Write this word 25 times. That's where we got that from. In middle school, write this word 100 times. When we went overseas, those kids are doing the same drills. Writing out the Quran. That's nothing new. How many textbooks we had to write out in grade school? But the kids are taking it to a more higher level, writing out the surah. One of the best ways to memorize the surah is writing it out. It sticks with you. It's like you can see what you wrote. If you write each verse 25 times, you got it. But we got those drills from middle school. That's nothing new. But we have to apply them to Quran and Sunnah. Apply them to your own studies. You'll be amazed, ikhwan. We've been doing these exercises in our non-Muslim Christian schools that we all had the honor to go to and learn from. They took a lot of those exercises way back then. Well, alhamdulillah. Reading comprehension. That's one of the best. Where you read the story and the teacher asks questions. Put your books down, and now you have to answer to see if you really were paying attention. Question number 1. لماذا ذهب مصطفى إلى صديقه حسن? Question 1. Why did Mustafa go to his companion Hassan? Now what I want you to try to do, ya ikhwan, is answer in Arabic. Because we're studying Arabic. So although we translate for the lack of the viewers and whoever else. That's not the goal. Our goal one day is to study Arabic and Arabic. So try to answer in Arabic to the best of our abilities. So number one, لماذا ذهب مصطفى إلى صديقه حسن? Why did Mustafa go to his companion Hassan? What do you say, Daud?
ليذهب إلى السوق.
Hey, Arsent. Number one, a great answer would be ليذهب إلى السوق. He went to him for him to go to the store with him. ليذهب معه إلى السوق. He went for him to go to the store. That's another sunnah, ya ikhwan. طيب. Sometimes you have to make a trip or you have to make a run, not to go by yourself. That's a sunnah. To go with someone. It's not obligatory, but it's highly recommended, especially in America, that you take someone with you. Especially the women. Anything can happen. I'll tell the women, if you can stay in your houses, stay in your houses. If you have to make a run, tell someone. Someone you trust, a family member, one of your close companions, hey, I'm about to go food shopping. If anything was to happen, the people know. Somebody knows. And that's highly recommended to do. In order for him to go to the market. That's why he went to Hassan. لِيَذْهَبَ مَعَهُ إِلَى السُّوقِ. He wanted Hassan to go with him to the store. لِيَذْهَبَ مَعَهُ إِلَى السُّوقِ. No. طيب. Number two. ماذا فعل حسن قبل حضور مصطفى? That's a good one. So what did Hassan do before the arrival of Mustafa? I forgot that myself. ماذا فعل حسن قبل حضور مصطفى? What did Hassan do before the arrival of Mustafa? You remember that? What did Hassan do, يا إخوان? طيب, لا بأس. Hassan did something specific.
حسن ينتظر منذ ساعة.
Good. He was waiting for an hour, but what did he do? He did something specific.
And حسن جاءت.
Now.
حسن جاءت ورقة.
Ahsant. Good. So he made a list. حسن يعد ورقة. He made a list of what he wanted to buy. ورقة أو يعد what did he say? أعد كلما. No. كلما أراد أو كلما يريد أن يشتري. He wrote down what he wanted to buy. يشتري. Accent. That's one of the best drills, ya ikhwan. Even in Arabic, if we apply those drills that we all used to do in grade school, you'll be amazed, ya ikhwan. It's really nothing new. يريد أن يشتري. So he made a list, he prepared what he wanted to, those things he wanted to buy. He wrote a list on a piece of paper, كتب فيها of كل ما أراد أن يشتري, of what he wanted to buy. No. Nothing prepared. Everything that he wanted to buy. Allahu Akbar. I remember when we first got to Yemen, ya ikhwan, and I would see something, the first time I ever seen, mashallah, where there's kids. You know how after Fajr time, everybody is doing their own review of the Quran. So even if somebody helps you, you're still taking time away from his own review. So the students, the younger kids there, the teenage and especially the boys, they would do something I thought was amazing. They had consideration for other students reviewing too. So instead of sitting with this one for a half hour or hour, they would go sit with this person and just recite one page on him. And then go to someone else and recite that same page. So now instead of taking a half hour out of someone else's review time, you just took 10 minutes now. So 10 people may come to you to recite one page of Quran. So they will go to different people. So instead of going to the same person to take all his time, they did a good job of being mindful that he's also studying too. So I would go to you and recite a page. And then I would take that same page and go to someone else and recite a page. And then I would go to someone else and recite a page. So I only took 10 minutes from each person. So I thought that was awesome, Ikhwan. Also, I saw there how the students of knowledge there really work together. And that's one thing I miss in the West. You don't really see. It's like everyone is competing for. I get it. The imams get money and titles and status. I get all of that. Don't get me wrong. I just don't agree. And I don't think that that's a reason why we can't work together. I don't know why you don't see more students of knowledge studying together. I've never understood that, yeah. Why the brothers can't come together more. Even if you already know that book, you memorized that book, you studied that book, but it's still review for you. All of us need review, mashallah ta'ala. And that's one thing I miss, how the brothers did a tremendous job there of helping each other. No matter who was the strongest, or who was second or third or fourth, nobody cared. Everybody was learning together. You can help me out in Quran, I can help you out in Hadith. The other brother helps both of us out in Arabic. We all help this one out in grammar. Alhamdulillah. And nobody really cared of who was the strongest, who was this and who was that. Everybody helped everybody. And that's one thing you missed there, Ikhwan. And may Allah bring those days back where the brothers and sisters can help each other out more. And nobody's afraid of. Nowadays, if you go to do a class at someone else's masjid, unless you're in their circle or their clique or the likes, is already an issue. Oh, he's trying to take my spot. He wants the money I get from the community. Nobody cares, ya Ikhwan. Let's just work together. Alhamdulillah. I don't know, ya Ikhwan. May Allah help us all. طيب, number 3. ماذا يريد حسن أن يشتري? What does Hassan want to buy? What does Hassan want to buy? No. تذكره? You remember Daud?
حسن يريد أن يشتري بعض ملابس شتوية شتوية.
No. حسن ملابس الشتوية. أحسنت. And one of them who wanted to buy the watch? Somebody wanted to buy ساعة لأخته, or his sister. I think that was Hassan. Mustafa. طيب. So you can say حسن أراد. He wanted to buy. أراد. There should be a dal. أن يشتري. He wanted to buy some winter clothes. بعض الملابس الشتوية. He wanted to buy some winter clothes. حسن أراد أن يشتري بعض الملابس الشتوية. MashaAllah. So Hassan wanted to buy some winter clothes. Ahsant. طيب. التي بعد next sentence. ماذا يريد مصطفى أن يشتري? What did Mustafa want to buy? What did Mustafa want to buy?
مصطفى يريد أن يشتري قميصا
Good.
أو بعض بنونا
جميل.
واحدة وذوق.
أحسنت أحسنت ما شاء الله يا داود أحسنت. So Mustafa أراد مصطفى wanted to buy قميصا. You can say a thobe. This can also be a shirt. وبنطلونا. He wanted to buy some slacks. some ماذا? Some pants. What else? وجوربا. Some shoes too, I believe, صح? وجوربا وحذاء. أحسنت. So he wanted to buy a shirt, or you could say a thobe. He also wanted to buy some pants. وكذلك he also wanted to buy some socks. وحذاء and shoes. ما شاء الله. أحسنت. So who's this? This is Mustafa. Mustafa wanted a shirt, pants, socks, and shoes. Oh yeah. قال الخامسة number 5. لماذا يريد مصطفى أن يشتري ساعة? So why was this Mustafa? So they say, so why did Mustafa want to buy a watch? I thought that was Hassan.
Hassan wanted to buy a watch.
So that would be a mistake on the, or maybe the author wanted to see, did we know that? Sometimes you ask someone a question to see. They had a narration that they say some of the students tried to play a game on Bukhari to test his memory. Now, some scholars of hadith said that those narrations are weak. Other scholars say, no, that did happen. They're Hassan narrations. But it is allowed to test someone. You want to see someone's accuracy, you can do that. So perhaps this is what the author was doing here, to see did we catch that. Because I thought he mentioned Hassan. وسيشتري حسن أيضا ساعة. Nah, Mustafa didn't want to buy a watch. That was Hassan. So perhaps the author's trying to see, did we catch that one? طيب. السادسة number 6 in the last sentence inshallah. ماذا سيركبان? What did they both ride? ماذا سيركبان? They didn't mention what they rode there. Did you remember, did they mention what they rode, Daud?
No, it didn't say.
Yeah, it didn't say. هذا لا يذكر. That wasn't mentioned. It just said they went. It didn't say how they got there. طيب. So for homework يا إخوان, عندنا تدريب التاسع, exercise number 9. We're going to leave this for homework inshallah. So I want you to do this one or two ways once again. You can continue to write them out. If some of you prefer the audio, that's fine too. You can do it by voice, or you can do it by writing it out. We accept both. He says, تريد أن تذهب مع أخيك إلى السوق. So you want to go to the store with your brother. لشراء ما تريد, to buy whatever you want to buy. تحدث عما دار بينك وبينه مستعينا لأسئلة التالية. So narrate what took place between you and your companion, using for assistance and help some of the questions of some of the previous questions. عفوا بالأسئلة التالية, using for help some of the following questions. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 questions. So you have to narrate what took place between you and your companion by answering these questions. متى ذهبت إليه? When did you go to your friend? ماذا قلت لأخيك? What did you say to him? بماذا أجابك? With what did he answer you? Some good questions, mashallah. Number 4, ماذا تريدان شراءه? What do you both want to buy? ماذا ركبتما? What did you ride? هل اشتريتما ما تريدان? Did you both buy what you wanted to buy? متى رجعتما? And when did you both return? So using these questions here, you have to answer the question or write a paragraph and just answer the questions in the paragraph, inshallah. This is a small picture that they have of the people shopping, mashallah. I like the thobe that the man has on with his imama. Alhamdulillah. طيب. Also the other thobe right here, the qamis of the sheikh. So you have to write a paragraph and just answer the question in the paragraph. And we'll stop there, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll start our next reading in the next class. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. If anyone doesn't have the book, let us know. We sent the link. Dawood sent the link and also sent the link to the Telegram. But just make sure someone emailed us and said they don't have the book. So we just want to make sure everyone has the book by now, inshallah. If you don't, let us know so we can make sure you have it. Then we'll stop there. وَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا وَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Goodbye.